Motion Parker.
Yeah.
You bring me to practice today?
What time?
5.
Yeah, I can bring you. It's gonna be quick though, because I think I have. Give me 1 second. I think I have a meeting for the VFW tonight because I have to switch. Who's in charge? Because I don't want to be in charge anymore. So give me a minute. Coming at 5. Our meeting starts at 6. Okay, so yeah, I can bring you.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
cell signal out here, so. How lovely. One of the big things they changed basically is so I can't use satellite while I'm driving. I can't use my Starlink through the Tesla driving. So I have to rely on mobile data because Starlink cuts out after 10 miles an hour because Tesla decided, well, Starlink decided, hey, why would we give people fucking unlimited car access for $5 a month? Nah, we need to make them pay more money, so we're gonna disable your ability to use Starlink if it's past 10 miles an hour, which sucks for a car because we're always going past 10 miles an hour. So use mobile data. The issue with mobile data is mobile data really sucks in Vermont. So mobile data is very shitty. I got like 1 bar right now. I'm going through this entire thing. And I would use premium on here, but then the issue with premium, there you go, work right. Premium doesn't always work either because it's just using the same fucking towers. So it's using AT&T though, which is different. But what was I even listening to? It's gonna be 30 up here, so get ready, Tesla, to slow down a little bit. Thank you. Another issue with Starlink is that, I'm not with Starlink, but with the Tesla data, is that I can't share it with anybody. So if I had the Tesla data in the car, it's strictly just for the AT&T and for the Tesla only. I can't share it with other people in the car. So if there is no data somewhere and I want to bring it with me, I can't share it. Which is the pros of Starlink, which if I want data, I could just fucking bring it anywhere I want. As long as the dish is outside and I'm within, I think it's like 150 feet of the satellite, I get something, which is better than nothing. But I think within distance of like connection, you get something, which is like significantly better. $10 a month for the Tesla Wi-Fi. You get extra benefits with Tesla Wi-Fi, but that's Tesla exclusive. What if I want my phone to connect to it? thing too is that it's $8 a month if I pay yearly. I think I'd rather do a phone hotspot. I don't need all the cool weather features and shit. I'm gonna replay this song since thinking the entire time. Projected range 179 miles. Is that from here or is that total? Because I'd be very upset if that was total. We burn an average of 261 watts per mile. We try to keep it under 250. Right now we're at 21. Well, right now, yeah, under 240-ish. And now we're using, well, let's say like over the last 200 miles. Yeah, see, 17 more than rated. 10 miles. wheels that I had because they last about an average of 5 years. And I'm just like, well, I don't know how old they are, but they came off a Tesla, so I'm pretty sure they could be like end of life or something. I don't even know. So I'm like, we'll just buy new ones to play it safe. That gives me 5 years of TPMS sensors. So what we'll end up doing is, I think it was like $70, almost $65 for 4 of them, which is better because usually it's $100, which is hella expensive, I think, for TPMS sensor. $100 because the batteries are non-replaceable and everything. But even on eBay, they're like $90 for used. And it's like, holy shit! Like even like used ones that are like end of life are $60+ bucks. It's like, holy shit! Like, I pay, if they had like about a year of them left in them, just for a year they worked, I'd pay a couple bucks. I'd pay $10 maybe even 20. I don't know, for 4 of them that they only did a year. But $60 for 4 that last 5 years. That's pretty good, and they're Tesla official, I'm pretty sure. So that seller, I don't know how they're getting it to me that cheap, but coming from Amazon, I can always get my money back. But I think what happened is someone bought them and they returned them, and they aren't supposed to mark them as new, so they don't want to like take too much of a loss. So they're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. Something happened. I get cheap sensors from Tesla, and I'm gonna have to put them in myself on these rims because I do not want to pay for TPMS sensor conditioning, because I'm pretty sure all I have to do is put a sensor on each of the wheels, screw it in the little thingy, and then when they put the wheels on, they just put the wheels on over it, and then put the rims on the car, and I think I just start driving and it auto connects. That's what I was told. So I'm gonna look up a video to make sure it auto connects. I'm pretty sure that's how it is, but I'm not gonna pay $100+ for them to condition the sensors when all I do is just drive. So and then they're like, well, yeah, the batteries can be replaced. And I'm like, yeah, but there's no battery. Well, there is batteries, but like they're non-replaceable. So you can't give me that bullshit of battery replacement if they're non-replaceable. I mean, you could buy whole new sensors for $100, but I don't want that every year. I just want, like I'm cheap. I negotiate them all the way down to $100 to put rims on the tires and then on the car. Yeah, I should get them below $100, but $100 I think is alright, I guess. I have to wait like 3 hours, but I mean, what tire place are you not waiting 3 hours for? Usually they're at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours minimum, just to put them on the fucking car. And then half the time, I'm sitting there and I check my Tesla cameras, and nothing's fucking happening. Like, I check my Tesla cameras and there's nothing. That is something I do miss though about connectivity. It's because with the connectivity, I can look through my Tesla cameras remotely. If I have the Starlink hooked up, even with Starlink hooked up, I can't look through my Tesla cameras remotely, and that pisses me off. I can still use Summon. I think it has to show me the cameras when I use Summon, doesn't it? I don't know. Actually, no, I don't know. I don't think it does show. I think it does show me the camera when I use Summon. It's got to. There's no way it doesn't. But that sucks. Like, I want to remotely check my cameras, and they're like, oh no, you gotta pay. Whatever. I'm trying to cut my subscriptions down. I mean, $5 a month for Starlink. That's pretty cut down to fucking 0.5 megs up, 0.5 megs down. That's bare bones. Pay for Apple TV. Although I'm only paying my brother $6 because he got a family plan, so that's Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple Games, Apple everything. So that's a good deal because I get 2 terabytes. Well, we all do, but I'm using about 1.5 terabytes. So no, shit's expensive. I keep my Amazon $6 a month. Yeah, that sucks, but I had the cheapest discount I can get. I'm under 25, so I get the student discount. But there's nothing else I can really do for that. Cheap skates. I can use other people's primes, like I probably ask my mom or my friend use one of their prime account, but I'm like, nah, it's fine, I'll just use my own prime. But other than that, most of my subscriptions are pretty low. Robinhood's $50 a year, or yeah, I think it was like $5 a month, $50. Yeah, I pay $50 a year. And I make money on that. I mean, like, the amount of money they give me for my retirement, like, I make money on that. So it's not, you know, like, they give me, I think it's like I pay $50 and they give me the equivalent of like $210 for retirement back, and it's like $200, $50. I mean, that's great. You know, I have to hold it for 3 years, but I don't care. It's just in my fucking account. I'm not retiring for a long time, so that's a money maker, if anything. Just literally paying for that to give me bonus money. Is this data gonna work, or do I gotta reconnect it here? How many bars I got? I got 2 bars. Try again, maybe. Play like this song. Play a song here and then. Try. Probably tired of me fucking talking. There you go. What the to be so play one more time, actually.
É todo fim de semana, bom rolê.
I hate to pause it, but I hate people like this in front of me. If possible, I will pass him on my Tesla, because I hate people who have fucking rocks in the back of their thing, not protected. As you can tell, rocks have hit my windshield. That one is not on me. That's the one I got the car. But there's like a slight... Actually, no, that one wasn't on me either. That little dot you can see right under my thing. Okay, he's turning. That's good. That was not on me. That was fucking an apple that fucking fell out of a tree as I was driving. Very unlucky. But there's like a slight... somewhere on the car. I can't see. I don't know where. But there's like a slight little thing from rock. And they always piss me off. But I always... Especially I think on my Ford too. I have a slight little... pisses me off. They legally have to have covers on, and when they start going certain speeds on the road, the rocks just start flying out, and it pisses me off. That's just my 2 take on it. Yeah. right by the pharmacy, that's gonna come in clutch. I don't have to drive all the way to the fucking UPS store in Rutland, and I can go from the pharmacy to the UPS store. That's gonna come in clutch to fix that fucking printer. Hope it is there.
Hell on earth, when I'm hurt, everything falls up, then I'm cursed. Got a piece of paper, now I'm a poet. Was always alone and didn't even know it. I couldn't ever focus, no one ever noticed. All I ever wanted was a better moment. I was at my lowest, falling out of motion, holding my grip on life as we knew it. Insanity, do this shit over and over again. I'll never love anybody again. Touching my heart, I got blood on my hands. Devil just asked me if I want insanity. Do this shit over and over again. I'll never love anybody again. Touching my heart, I got blood on my hands. Devil just asked me if I wanna dance. When my life is fleeing from my body, I want some clarity. All my ideas chaotic. The thought of my mind is scaring me. Don't know my pinnacle, now it's so pitiful. You are the people I did it for. Leave me to die, it's a miracle. Nothing you've done will ever be forgivable. I can't go longer when will it end? I can't go through any of this again. What happened to me? I can't identify any event. I'm very intense at every attempt. My heart is the victim of every expense. Who I've become is every regret. This is the hell I made for myself. I've let it possess. Insanity, do this shit over and over again. I'll never love anybody again. Touching my heart, I got blood on my hands. Devil just asked me if I want insanity. Do this shit over and over again. I'll never love anybody again. Touching my heart, I got blood on my hands. Devil just asked me if I wanna dance.
There you go. Right now. There you go. Come on, buddy. It's not your time to cross. You can go right on red, but yeah. Oh, big pump. Watch out. Ugh.
I keep breaking down my ways, yeah. Maybe I should just explain all my pain. Think she's open to mistake, yeah. Think she's hoping that I'll stay for the day. I think she's A-okay. I know she's sick, okay. Run away, yeah. Don't you think you should throw it all away? She thinks she's lost her turn. I think she's lost her world. I'm lost inside her heart. I'm lost inside this hurt. I keep hoping I'll fade in the waves. I keep running out of patience to stay. Overthinking is a waste, Overthinking I just can't.
I don't know what that speed limit was, but it said at 35, I guess. No Tesla. If it's 30, we're slowing the fuck down. I just didn't see. It's 30, 35. Dude is on my ass, though. Get behind me. I can't. I don't know why it doesn't show him like right there, but he is right there. Ew. Smells bad. Still no speed limit signs. It smells like shit though. They gotta be smoking or something. That's fucking awful. What's next? End times. Yeah.
scare you? Why is it scaring you, the 50 miles an hour thing? It's 50 miles an hour.
They're here, yeah. But like, it wasn't 15 miles an hour back there. A lot of stuff going on up here. You can tell it's freaking out with all these cars and shit. Visually interesting. Basically there, so I'm not going to play my song until we're on the way home. Hope there's just self-scanner in that UPS store. We'll see. So I'm going to pull up right next door like I always do. 4 ways on, run in, scan, and leave. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe there's a chance I'm lucky and I don't have to go in an UPS store at all. Pretty sure it's a Hannaford. I don't think she said Walgreens. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. Why is there a destination point here? What? Is that where we're gonna get home, I guess? It is Hannaford, it says. Okay, interesting. Is that like a one-way? So I would just turn in. Yeah, oh yeah, I guess we're leaving that way. Turning this way here. And then where's UPS? Let's see a UPS, please. No, we're gonna go straight. It's up here. I think the UPS place might be over there. But no Tesla, we're gonna be going straight and picking any good available spot. Parking in. And then military only. But you didn't say no parking here. That's exactly where I'm gonna be going. perfection, I'm not gonna grab my tech bag. I don't think I'm gonna need it. Maybe I'll be back. Alright, ready? Let's go home. Actually, we're gonna wait just for a second here. Now we can get driving. No, Tesla, you keep doing that shit. Oh, my pen. We bought this Tesla from a Chevy dealership. Interesting. There's a lot of used Teslas out there. Thank you for blocking my fucking view, little bro. Nice. Yeah. You suck. One great thing though about FSD, at least, roundabouts. You know, roundabouts are stressful for a lot of people. I like how we can get, you know, it analyzes all the cars and we can get going pretty good. Like, look at that. Look at that. A little bit of hesitation there, but that was fine.
April 20th, 2026. I'm your host, Chance Miller. We are supported this week by Card Pointers. Leading off today, a new rumor adds more details to Apple's alleged plans for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max colors. Macworld, citing a source familiar with Apple's supply chain, says that Apple is developing 4 color options for these devices. There's a light blue, described as similar to the current mist blue color of the base iPhone 17, dark cherry, described as deep wine-like red rather than a bright fruit punch style red, silver, described as similar to the iPhone 17 Pro silver, and a dark gray, similar to a classic space black. This isn't the first we've heard about Apple's development of a red shade iPhone 18 Pro. Bloomberg reported in February that Apple was developing a new deep red color option, while Weibo leaker Digital Chat Station reported in October that Apple was working on a burgundy color. This report, however, paints it as more of a purple than a red. It won't be bright and flashy like the current cosmic orange iPhone 17 Pro. Instead, it will be more muted and subdued. And speaking of cosmic orange, the rumor says that Apple will discontinue the cosmic orange color option for the iPhone 18 Pro. There had been speculation Apple might keep it around, given its immense popularity, but it's looking like that won't be the case. And finally, the report cautions that these colors are still in development, and the iPhone 18 Pro hasn't gone into mass production yet, so Apple still has time to change them. Still, these are the colors in development and currently slated for the iPhone 18 Pro. We are sponsored this week by Card Pointers, the best way to earn more from your credit cards every day. Card Pointers shows you in-depth details about rewards and offers for each of your cards. Most Card Pointers users save more than $750 per year with these recommendations. Card Pointers is available on all of Apple's platforms, including iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Watch. 9 to 5 Mac Daily listeners can exclusively save 30% and get a $100 savings card by hitting the link in the show notes. My thanks to Card Pointers for their support of the show. Next up today, we have more details about what's next for the Mac. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports that the next generation Mac Studio might not arrive until October. This is particularly notable given the current state of Mac Studio availability. The current Mac Studio is offered in M3 Ultra and M4 Max configurations, but the machine is heavily delayed and several higher-end models are completely out of stock. A refresh is certainly due, but supply chain constraints are apparently impacting Apple's ability to deliver the M5-powered Mac Studio update. Gurman says that Apple had been aiming for a release around the middle of the year, likely timed to WWDC in June, but now that has been pushed back by several months. Meanwhile, these supply shortages and supply chain problems are also affecting Apple's plans for the next MacBook Pro. The next MacBook Pro, as we've talked about, is expected to feature a ton of updates, including a new OLED display with a dynamic island, a touchscreen, and a more powerful M6 Pro and M6 Max chip. Previously, Gurman had said that Apple was targeting a late 2026 to early 2027 launch for the new MacBook Pro, with many expecting an announcement around October or November. He now says, however, that supply constraints mean the MacBook Pro launch is slightly delayed, and it possibly won't arrive until early next year, so the far end of that timeline. This is primarily due to the industry-wide shortage for components like RAM and storage. This is what's also delaying the update to the Mac Studio. Gurman says that the software accommodations for the brand new touchscreen MacBook Pro will be ready for the fall as part of macOS 27, which again points to the delay being related to supply shortages, not any sort of software development problem. So with those two updates and potential delays in mind, it's unclear when Apple's next update to the Mac lineup will be. We're also still waiting on M5 versions of the Mac Mini, but there's currently no word on whether that update is also delayed by these supply shortages. Rounding out today, we have a couple of tidbits about what to expect from iOS 27. First, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports that the artwork for WWDC 2026 gives us our first look at the new design for Siri coming as part of iOS 27. So along with the actual functionality of Siri being dramatically updated as part of iOS 27, we also now expect a new design. Bloomberg says that the new voice assistant design includes visual elements that resemble the glow effect seen in the WWDC 2026 art. It is reportedly most striking when the iPhone is used in dark mode, which is why the WWDC art uses a black background. Bloomberg says the design currently being tested includes a Siri interface that sits within the dynamic island. When the voice assistant is triggered, the island expands with a prompt that reads "Search" or "Ask," accompanied by a glowing cursor. This would be the second time Apple has redesigned the Siri interface in this new era, with the first being the rainbow lighting effect around the edge of the display debuted as part of iOS 18. But because the intended features for that version of the voice assistant failed to ship on time, Apple appears to have gone back to the drawing board and is planning another rebrand. Second, Bloomberg says that Apple is testing a tweak to the home screen in iOS 27 that will be helpful for when you're making changes to your home screen layout. Apple is reportedly planning to add an undo and a redo button in that menu in the upper left corner that appears when making home screen adjustments. This will make it easier to fix any mistakes that you make while trying to perfect your home screen layout. That wraps up another episode of 9to5Mac Daily. As always, you can find all of the latest Apple news on 9to5Mac.com. Follow along with me on Threads at Chance H. Miller, and we'll be back tomorrow for a new episode of 9to5Mac Daily.
That was good. Yeah. try, podcast if. Tesla's still here. That's been unplugged for quite a long time. This Tesla's been unplugged for about over a year and a half minimum that I've seen. Model S right here. Poor Tesla. They did open the charging port, but it's been unplugged for a very long time. So that car is definitely dead, as they've not charged it. If the charger port has to stay open like that, that means it's dead.
Hello and welcome to the Apple Insider Podcast. This is your host, Wesley Hilliard speaking. I'm joined by William Gallagher once again. Lots and littles going on this week. It's kind of a weird week. We've got a few small stories, a big story to get into, and Apple Insider Plus is going to be a fun one. Before we get to that, I'd like to thank our sponsor this week, Clean My Mac by MacPaw. And if you don't want to hear anything about sponsors, there's Apple Insider Plus, where you get an ad-free experience and a bonus topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about Apple's responsibility, its role with App Review, because they've told the courts, they've told the governments, they've told the people, they are App Review, no one else. But are they doing their job? And how do we fix it? So, William, how's it going?
Well, I'm just in from a paper round. I'm trying to get up enough money to buy the big new Elgato Stream Deck. Also getting in my steps for the day. So I'm fine. Grand. Thank you. Okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Slowly still healing, if anyone's keeping up. But I'm better every day, so I will soon be running marathons. Not really. I can't run. My knees won't let me. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Sorry, for one second.
I'm here to talk about...
I thought you said your niece wouldn't let you, and I thought, what hold has she got over you? Okay, I'm concentrating now, I promise. Okay.
So many nieces that I have. I have 11 nieces and nephews. Wow. So don't ask me to count how many of each. It would take a very long time. Mike must have listened to Apple Insider Plus and stole our idea, because he wrote a story about a Mac Neo, a device that is lower down than the Mac Mini in a smaller case the size of an Apple TV. Did you read this story?
I'm actually complicit in writing it, and I did the image, the mocked-up version of the Mac Neo, which I am stupidly proud of, because I've copied the citrus sign, the exact shade of citrus from, in fact, one of your photographs of the MacBook Neo. So, at least artistry was involved. Now some guilt. I hadn't remembered that we'd said that, so... do I owe you something for having stolen your idea?
No, but citrus is an impossible to photograph color. You chose one of the many shades that it appears to be. We talked about it for an Apple Insider Plus segment where we would design different Neo.
Just like that. There goes mobile data. Bummer. We will try again, but fucking shitty ass Vermont with its towers. See, if Starlink didn't do that thing where it's like, hey, I noticed you're driving past 10 miles an hour, we're gonna shut you off. If they had like a middle ground, because I don't like the 50 gig roam plan, that's stupid. But the unlimited plan is $165. Like, that's a lot a month. $165 a month, that's a lot. And $5 a month is like the only other option. And man. I'd take the $5 a month for only using the internet when I'm, you know. But like, come on. Although the dial-up satellite, I named it dial-up satellite because it's dial-up speeds. But it is funny that it does kind of glitch sometimes and let me use it while I'm driving, I'm pretty sure. Theoretically, if I can click play.
Products.
Right.
The Neo iPhone and Neo Mac.
Oh, Neo.
Not on
Yes,
anything, but it's
of
working.
course, sorry. Yeah.
Somehow,
I like
you
all
know.
that.
So this was a good story.
Oh,
I
another
just
thing, too, is-
wanted to point it out to get everyone.
This is my hope. I hope it doesn't fuck it up. Premium connectivity. It pisses me off that premium connectivity is always on in the car. Like, it's always active for everything, but it doesn't let you use it. Because I actually am still using premium connectivity part of the time. Even though it's disabled, I'm still able to actually use it. Like you just heard there. If I left to keep playing, there's a chance I could just play for 20 minutes and not pay. It's pretty crazy. See, now it did that to me, but it does still work. Even though I'm not paying for it. Hope they don't patch it. See, that's another thing too, is that you fucking do that shit to me. Here, dial-up satellite connecting. Let's redo we're on SOS, so there's nothing I can actually do here. Got 1 bar of LTE now, but yeah, so. Oh! Boom. No, fuck you. So close. Try again. There you go.
One to go read it, but
So now I'm using premium connectivity.
I want to get back to a topic we
I'm not
discussed
using satellite,
last
I'm on
week.
premium connectivity.
And this one is
God, don't turn it off. I'm 1 bar. Hotspot I can't even turn on. Damn it. So you have 3 bars, Tesla. 2 bars now. I have 1 bar. AT&T runners just more expensive and it's not as good. There's so many like shitty issues I've had with it. I don't trust. Xfinity is a worse option, but I mean, it's free for me, so I'm not complaining. If I'm not paying for it, I can't complain. Let's get my hotspot back on, though. Got a few bars. Yep. What if I told you the oh, no, it's not right. I mean, you should have data. We have full bars of 5G. There you go. No, fuck.
if we really want to bet against a lot of these things, for innovation, and then there's like a final mass production validation. I got the name
Not
well as anything. So
Oh yes, yes. Sorry, that he did say it was great. But he did say
I've iPhone Fold just because that's what the Samsung device was called, and it's what Apple Insider. I don't know that we were the first to call it iPhone Fold, but like when we were coming,
yeah.
it's both.
Having stolen your idea.
No, but citrus is an impossible to photograph color.
Yeah.
You chose one of the many shades that it appears to be.
Yes.
No, we talked about it for an Apple Insider Plus segment where we would design different Neo products.
Right.
The Neo iPhone and Neo Mac.
Oh, Neo Apple.
But yes,
yes, of course. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
I liked all of that.
So this was a good story. I just wanted to point it out to get everyone to go read it. But I wanted to get back to a topic we discussed last week. And this one is an ongoing story that probably will be ongoing until September, until something happens, because this is Schrodinger's iPhone Fold.
Right.
It's both arriving and not in September, and we won't know until we open the box.
Yeah.
So, William, do you remember what we talked about last week?
Yes, but also I've been thinking about it a lot, because one of the things that came up recently was, would it be called the iPhone Ultra instead of weird? That's one of the things we've talked about. Somebody, was it, just blanked on the name, John Gruber maybe, saying that Apple tends to not name things after what they do. So the iPhone Fold is, yeah.
I don't know why I mean, I appreciate Gruber's commentary here, but this was always a placeholder. I think Apple Insider, I don't know that we were the first to call it iPhone Fold, but like when we were coming up with what to call it, because there was different names kind of floating around and different ideas, and we settled on iPhone Fold just because that's what the Samsung device was called, and it's what it does. We're talking about 2019, 2020, when these discussions were had. So it just stuck because, again, it's an easy to say thing. If we called it the iPhone, Ultra in 2019, everyone would be like, okay, but which phone are you talking about? Like, that doesn't say anything about the device. Once it releases and the marketing's out there, some people will understand that when you say iPhone floppity-doo, like that refers to the iPhone Fold. But until we have that name, we need a placeholder, and the placeholder can't be Duo. What is a Duo? Like, that doesn't tell us anything. So.
Oh yes, yes. Sorry, that he did say it was Gruber. He did say Duo as well. Floppity Doodah is so much of a better name. I will type with crossed fingers until September that Apple gets it right. So you were speaking about what we talked about. We also talked about the fact that there's this ongoing thing that you've argued by now we should be seeing parts for it, we should be seeing more leaks, and we are seeing more leaks, but not to the level we want. So that's true. They might.
This is bandwagoning at its best. This is every leaker that's still considered a leaker that isn't some fake random web account saying, us too, we came up with this idea. Yes. So we'll get into what they're saying in a moment, but just to more specifically recap last week, there was a lot of back and forth. First, Instant Digital said that Apple was going to begin test production of the iPhone Fold. It's the first of 3 productions. It's test validation, or a production validation testing, then design validation, and then there's like a final mass production validation. I got the names of them wrong, but there are 3 of them. We're in the first one, and it's due in September. This is going very slow. For reference, iPhone 18 entered the first of the 3 layers last month, so it is definitely behind on schedule, even if it only is going to get made in the 7 to 8 million range of units. That came out, but then immediately after, a different report said, actually, Apple's hitting some snags in its testing that we just heard about it. They're doing the testing phase, right? Well, they've hit snags in that testing, and they're warning suppliers that if this isn't overcome, we're going to be shifting the mass production date later. This created a lot of hoopla, a lot of stock, tumult went on. People tried to pin Gurman's story as like, see, he said it was going to be delayed. Then Gurman said, no, actually, I said it was still going to be on time, just maybe in October instead of September. And all this back and forth happened. And then finally, nothing was really resolved. We never really got to hear back from any other report saying if the supply chain actually said this or not, or Apple actually told the supply chain this or not. And now, in the weeks since, we've had at least 3 other leakers step out and say they're siding with, I probably said John Gruber earlier, I meant Mark Gurman from Bloomberg. They're siding with him on his announced in September alongside the iPhone, released at the latest in October. And that's the dog pile, because, Gurman's not someone you really want to bet against a lot in these things. So here we are. iPhone Fold is still in this weird limbo space because in Nikkei Asia, it apparently got a hold of some supply chain statuses saying Apple told them this. So perhaps they're making it up. Perhaps their source is making it up. I don't know. Or maybe they're interpreting it wrong. I don't know what the disconnect here is. But Gurman seems fairly adamant about that report being just, I think he used the phrase misguided. So, where do you think we are in all this, William?
Well, we're at a very important point, which is, you just said about the 3 leakers stepping out, and I cannot get it out of my head now that they're going to sing. It's like a little boy band of leakers. That's not what you meant, is it? We're still at the stage where I've seen this in you. Maybe, I think you even played it down last week, but you are now on the side of it's coming. It's just questions about when. And before you'd have been unsurprised if it was 2 years off suddenly.
We're playing all this side game thing. Like, we got a podcast review later about this. It's not necessarily sides, okay? And it's not like, oh, Wesley was wrong. Look, I know there's nuance to this. It's hard. It's difficult, especially in an audio format. But let me put it to you like this. Earlier in the year, I've always been skeptical about iPhone Fold. To be clear, I don't think the device needs to exist. I think that it is a flawed device as a product that doesn't seem to serve a particular purpose. If Apple can sell us on it, we can have a different conversation. Apple can convince anyone of anything, and I'm happy to hear their, point when they announce this device. Maybe they'll convince me to buy one. I don't know. I've said this many times before. But as it stands, the designs that we've been seeing leaked from CADs, not actual parts, doesn't leave a lot of hope for this actually being that useful of a device. And I am also just adamant about, hey, where's the leaks? If this thing was ready for this fall, it should be leaking in some respect. We saw all of iPhone Fold last March, all of iPhone Air last March.
True.
So the fact that we're not seeing anything, and this report of they're not even past phase 1 of testing for mass production, that is not good. Those aren't good signs. So I've never been absolute, this thing isn't coming. I've only ever said, and you can go back and listen to me, it's on the record, that if we don't see leaks soon, this thing is in a weird spot timeline-wise and release-wise. Like, where is it? And then now we're seeing these reports. I kept saying on the show, put in your bets. We're going to hear from the first leaker soon that there's some unknown delay. And we got this unknown delay. There it is, and everyone's pushing back against it. This has happened so many times before in leaking that we forget, because the end result is that the product is delayed or it isn't, and we just move on with our lives because the thing happened. But people never really go back to examine how we got there. I remember, like, a couple of years ago, we had the flat-sided Apple Watch. Everyone was talking about the flat-sided Apple Watch. It was nonsense. It wasn't going to happen. But everyone and their mother was saying it was going to happen because of some stupid fake component leak that got out. And it didn't release. We got a regular Apple Watch with more rounded size. It was hilarious. During the keynote, Apple emphasized how much more round it was. So let's just not forget that these are human beings capable of making mistakes. This is a complicated process. It is fun to participate in the rumor mill, but they're not gods. They don't know everything. Heck, even if they got leaked accurate information, it could be weeks old. Apple could have changed their mind. We don't know, but it's fun to report on. So this week, we've seen some rumors about, again, just repeat data from various leakers saying Apple will announce it in September, and that seems to be the go-to, because that's also just what Gurman's saying. Digitimes also fell into this boat. They wanted, I guess Digitimes wanted to be the clarifying force here, arguing to be the middleman. They weren't the first to say this, but they almost were acting like they were the first to say this, saying that actually both reports are true. Decay Asia is accurate, and it's going to be delayed, right? Instead of it beginning, so mass production for these things, like the actual mass production, it's end of June, middle of July, that time frame. That's normal for any iPhone. Mass production can get pushed all the way back to August for the iPhone Fold, matching Decay Asia's report. but it would still be revealed in September and released in low quantities by October. So basically, Digitime stepped in and combined all of the disparate rumors into one, which honestly sounds mostly right. I don't disagree with this one. If Apple wants to announce the iPhone Fold in September and they only have 100 made, they will sell all 100 at the end of the month. They got it on the books, and then they ramp up production into the winter. That's fine. Apple has done similar in the past. We've seen it with the iPhone 10. We've seen the pandemic affect things. We'll see where it goes.
AirPods were the same. Yes, they got one at the door. Well, the December. Yeah, though it's the one I bought.
They hit their date. So it's interesting to watch. But we'll like I said, we'll get more into the podcast comment later. But just to be clear, my stance has always been, we don't know if this thing's coming or not. I don't think it needs to exist personally, but my bet has never been it's not coming. Like I've never. I mean, if I have, then it might have been a mistake. But I am of the mind now, William, that it is more likely to come because Apple has made it clear that it really, really wants it out there. Internally, at least, they've made it clear. So I wouldn't bet against it releasing, is all I'm saying. But this is still pretty fraught. Anything could happen. It could get delayed all the way till 2027. We just don't know. But my preference, of course, would be if they decided it just wasn't worth it and focused on other things.
Just so we can refer back to this exact point, my status is there's no way I'm going to be able to afford it when it comes, based on what we've heard so far.
So what do you think of these latest rumors? What do you think of Digitime's assessment? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's interesting the way you said some things were put together. You put them together, and I hadn't seen that, and that made sense for it. I feel like we're getting the old elephant thing of touching the trunk when you looking at the tail, or whatever the correct phrasing of that is. There's enough in there that I believe it's coming in September, but not enough in there that I can justify that belief. It's a really narrow, fine line there, but that's where I'm sitting.
To clarify, the full statement is, if you want to understand, you can't understand Apple's supply chain based off of one person describing one supply chain member, because it's like blindfolding three different men and asking them to describe an elephant. One would describe the trunk as a snake, one would describe the legs as a hippo, and one would describe the tail as a giraffe. Like, you don't get the full picture from one person describing one aspect of a larger mammal. So, I don't think...
I'm just thinking, unless any of them peaked, and then we'd know they peaked because Apple sued them for it. But anyway, yeah, sorry, I went off on one there.
Yeah, this is I don't like talking about this story because it's a little sad. So John Prosser got into some trouble, and he got sued by Apple. To recap, basically, last January, he got a hold of what was a very, very early build of what would be liquid glass. And if y'all, people have been treating this like he leaked iOS 26. That was not what happened. His leak was actually pretty poor in the grand scheme of things. It did an okay job of showing what some things might look like. Of course, his YouTube thumbnail was clickbait because it had circle icons, and then half of his imagery that was rendered was just wrong because, again, he was embellishing. But the actual mock-up versions of the screenshots that he got were real because they were taken from a prototype device that a Apple employee had in their home. And the mock-ups were, it was so early that everyone in the know said that's not it. Like, I'm pretty sure we had a Mark Gurman just straight up say, no, not quite, right? So, being clear here, he sacrificed what could be his career for an almost leak, an almost scoop, because the reports that I've been reading so far about this trial have been like, John Prosser stole liquid glass. It's like he barely got the sheen. Like, he knew there was like a glassy layer over the UI, but that was about the extent of it. He said that he even said in the video that it's not even that much of a redesign when it was. So anyway, moving on.
Tesla tried to come onto incoming traffic for some reason. I do not know why.
What was a
why would you do that?
alleged by the Apple employee who is now fired. I can get their names, but it's not that important. It's like Luke Plunkett or something. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know where that name came from. Ethan Lipnick. The letters were there, just in the wrong order. Anyway, so the Apple employee, Ethan Lipnick, was a friend of a colleague of John Prosser's, Michael Ramasiati. So, however you say his name, Prosser pressured... I'm going to have to say his name over and over again, aren't I, William? Prosser pressured Ramasiati into going to his friend's house while his friend was away, getting the prototype testing device, opening it up on a FaceTime call, and showing it to Prosser. And what's being alleged is that Prosser was the ringleader here. He orchestrated the whole thing, and he took screenshots of that call and then used those screenshots to make fake versions of those shots, because that's what he does, and put them in a video. So that's the story that is being told. That is what has been allegedly evidenced by a recording sent via iMessage to Lipnick, which was provided to Apple, of Prosser's friend saying that's what they did. Right, so that's what's all in evidence so far. Prosser has been asked since this trial began, I believe sometime last year, I want to say October.
Yeah.
He's been asked to provide any evidence. Just the discovery process is asking for multiple points of evidence, communications, things to either show his innocence or not. He has provided nothing. In fact, I think he's basically ghosted them. Is the term, because they defaulted the judgment last year, and for some reason the trial continued. Normally when these things default, I figured that was the end, but no, somehow even though he's not showing up to any of this stuff or providing any evidence or talking to anyone theoretically on the record, the trial is moving on, and he's looking to get the default overturned. Because he's been, quote, talking to Apple behind the scenes.
Right, surely you can't just not get sued by choosing not to turn up or anything, because if you do anything like that, the possibilities
the claim so far, the claim so far is ignorance. Every one of these reports is, this is John Prosser's legal team, and we were never informed of a due date. Okay.
Yeah.
So they lost the due date in the mail. What, like they're and you know, to be fair, it kind of is working. Their ignorant thing is working, but eventually you have to participate. The trial is going to continue. So Prosser has finally played his hand. Can you guess what his?
Yes.
What he's going to do here?
Because I read Apple Insider, I believe he's pleading...
His insider information.
Pleading the fifth. We don't have that here, but you hear about it an awful lot on TV, is pleading the fifth. Or is it...
You're off by 4 amendments.
Am I?
So, fifth is you have the right to not...
The ninth.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, the other direction.
So what's the fifth?
Yeah, you have the right not to...
incriminate yourself.
You look it up. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You have the right to not self-incriminate during an event. But that's different.
So what's the...
Because
first?
When a court says give us documentation, you have to give them documentation. There's no fifth. You don't plead the fifth again. Anyway, moving on. The First Amendment protects speech, right to free speech. The Congress shall set no law that controls speech. That's the important part everyone forgets. Congress shall set forth no law that controls speech. You can practice any religion you want to, but there's the other one that isn't discussed as much these days. Freedom of the press. You have the right to have journalism, to publish news, to discuss the goings on in the world. Prosser is hoping that he is going to be covered by the First Amendment as a journalist in his coverage of Apple. But
no, that doesn't work.
Events I described before, no, it doesn't work that way. So the events I described before are what's being alleged. If this was just a simple theft of secrets, right, trade secrets case, that would be an open and shut case. Apple probably would never have sued because, as you can see, there's leaks all the time. Apple can't sue a leak. They can fire the leaker if they find them, but they can't sue the journalist for publishing that the iPhone Fold looks like this, because that is a right to our journalistic integrity. If we paid a person to break into Tim Cook's office and steal an iPhone Fold and bring it back to me, there's multiple layers of illegal going on there. That is not protected speech. That is not allowed. There are multiple court cases that prevent that from being allowed. It has been tested and tested and tested in court. If you, as a journalist, participate in any way in getting illegal information, you are no longer protected by the First Amendment, period. And the court, the whole case is premised on the idea that Prosser was the orchestrator of stealing this imagery. And they seem to have evidence that suggests that, and Prosser has provided no evidence at all, whether it condemns him or indemnifies him. But either way, he has provided nothing. So the only evidence in the court's hands seems to be the one saying he did it. And now he's arguing journalistic coverage. That's a problem, because all the court has to say is, well, you stole this information, so therefore you're not protected. The end. End of case. So I don't know where he's going with this. June 10th, I believe, is the next date. We're going to get an update on all of this. It's just a really sad state of things, because this whole time, Prosser's running to the press. I believe he talked to The Verge briefly. We covered that story as well. He is still making YouTube videos about iPhone leaks. And we got an interesting quote, I believe, from that Verge story, William. I don't know if you read this. But yes, he described what he posts on his website as everything he posts he believes to be accurate. So take that for what you will. Yeah.
Not how I describe his videos, but that's a different issue altogether. Okay. Okay.
I feel for the guy. I don't watch his content, right? It's a little crude and a little silly for my taste, and he's often wrong. And he had some insider resources that wasn't theft sometime in the past, alleged theft sometime in the past, that was accurate and interesting. And then things started falling off when we got the flat-sided Apple Watch, Steve Jobs edition Apple glasses, yada yada, so on. So he's obviously lost his sources. He still wants to make money. He has an audience that are very faithful to him.
True.
I think if he just pivoted into Apple News and continued covering leaks and gave his supposition and, even claimed insider resources, who cares? It's YouTube these days. Everyone seems to be lying. Apple Insider is not lying. We are an integral journalistic entity. Anyway, I'm just a disclaimer. No, but seriously, YouTube is full of trash. But Prosser could take advantage of that and do whatever he wants with his channel, but he's so forceful about, I need to be the Apple Leaks guy, even though I don't think he's really been the Apple Leaks guy for a long time. It's like seeing a boxer return from retirement to get their teeth knocked in. It's just, at some point you hang up your belt and move on. And I'm sorry, Prosser, but I think this lawsuit's going to result in you not being allowed to talk about Apple at all. if you had cooperated, maybe it would be a lesser thing. Maybe they would just, cut it at these kinds of leaky things. But they might completely silence him, and that's just sad. And I hope he has a future in making videos, because he has some well-produced videos. He's just gonna have to find a different niche. We'll see what happens
about
with this
his legal team. And I mean, if I had a lawyer up against Apple's lawyers, I can't conceive of being able to hire somebody able to bat against Apple's incredibly big and well-funded and well-done team.
To be fair, William, the advice of these lawyers so far seems to be bury your head in the sand and wait and see what happens.
I can do that myself.
This feels very... yeah, this seems very I have an uncle that's a lawyer type stuff going on here.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by Clean My Mac from MacPort. First thing this morning, my Mac Studio it was something like 1.5 terabytes of free space, but after just a little video editing, it was suddenly down to only 88 gigabytes free. Now, I think there must be something wrong with Final Cut Pro, but the reason I know it was down to 88 was that Clean My Mac warned me. When you're low on space, all sorts of things go wrong on the Mac, and the spinning beach ball becomes your constant companion. Before that could happen to me today...
Those dogs always piss me off because they run out in the middle of traffic. And they should be on a leash on their own property, but they are not. And I don't like being a dick and calling animal control, but people need to watch their dogs, because those dogs actually cause issues and fight other dogs, which is stupid, but I'm not going to call animal control, but someone else will. You can't even take your dog on a walk, because